Hello everyone, I'm Debbie Polachek. I am a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator. Welcome to my channel. Today I'm going to be making another card out of the steel scenes using that snow globe. Today I'm going to be using, instead of the poinsettia with it, I'm going to make more of a child's version of it. I'm going to use the Snow Wonder. And this paper right here is going to be my inspiration color of paper. And yes, I know that's an odd color for a snow scene, but I was in New Mexico once and seen a sunset that reflected the same color orange on every little bit of snow there was out there, and it was beautiful. So that's what made me choose that orange color. So I'm starting off with some Whisper White cardstock, and I'm going to cut it in half at 5.5 inches on the long side. Take my one of my pieces and take it and score it at 4 1/4 on the long side. And for some reason, when I do this, it never comes out straight, so I like to flip it over to the other side and do it at 4 1/4 again. And as you can see, there's a bigger strip there, and that's more in this even for me in the middle. Take my bone folder and go ahead and press that down. Card base is finished. Okay, this is the first one I painted, and I used my Stamping Blend markers. And to help me choose my colors, I used these two pieces of paper to help me do that. Homemade sample cards. I do have a video teaching you how to make one. These are all the colors that I have, all the ink pads and all the markers. And this helps me a whole lot determine what colors that I want to use. Okay, so I'm going to be using markers on this. So I like to take this because I know I want a purple here. So I looked up the purples that I have in the markers. And with this darker color, I knew I wanted a lighter color. Did I want more of a pink lighter, or did I want the purple lighter? I think I want the purple lighter better with this color, with this paper here. So I'm going to go ahead and use that because I know all these colors go real well together. So that's a light Highland Heather. So I'll go ahead and pull that color out. That's going to be for the hat. And as far as the reds go, I like the real red, but in order to lighten it up a little bit, I'm going to use the light real red. So I have my light real red, and I'll use that on the scarf too. And as far as the shadow colors, the pumpkin, the light pumpkin would be okay. And I think that's the one I'll use. Let me see for sure. The light pumpkin pie. Okay, so those are my colors. I think that's all the, oh, I need a little bit of green. So what green will I go with? Probably, again, one of the old olive, kind of a muted color, or the apple. It's really bright, but I just go ahead and go, either one of those would be good. I'll just go with the old olive light. So those are my colors for my markers. Now, in my Stamparatus, with my dies, see, I'm going to use these dies to cut out my sentiments. So I want to be sure and have those spread apart enough. This one needs to be moved over, look like a little bit. I'm going to be using copper embossing powder to do this, but it is not suggested to use your alcohol ink markers along with any embossing powder. So what I'm going to do is go ahead and I have this set up in my Stamparatus in a good spot, and I'm going to go ahead and stamp this first in Petal Pink. Okay, because that's a good light color, and I don't really want a dark color there because I might get it a little bit off the next time. I doubt it, but I want a light color. Now I'm going to take my markers, and I'm going to take this light pumpkin pie. And on this snowman, you can see like ripples of snow. And so what that means is this would be darkest here and fade out to go lighter inside the pumpkin. I mean, inside the, inside of our snowman. And I'm going to go ahead and take my colorless blender and blend in the inside of that so I can have a good fade color, okay? So I'm going to go ahead and work a little bit at a time because it just blends out easier when you're doing this from this orangey to this white. Again, I'm going to take my colorless blender and fade this out. Here we got another ripple going here. Got it underneath his cape here, under his scarf. Go ahead and blend that out. And this part. Okay, looks like he's got a ripple going here. I am on the bullet end of this because I'm really scrubbing it. And this is kind of away from the edge here, and we're not going all the way to the end. Because we want to keep that lighter behind that to make him look round. Maybe another ripple right there. Now that's a fluffy snowman, isn't he? Okay, looks like all underneath his hat he's got a shadow. All underneath his chin. On this side. Okay, and that's for the snowman. Okay, now I'm going to take on the bullet end of my little green here. I'm going to go ahead and put that in here. The red for his scarf. I'll go ahead and use the red for his nose too, because I want him to show up pretty good there. That light Highland Heather for his cap. And we'll use a little of that red on these little cherries, or little berries, holly berries. Okay. Now also I'm going to need some of the snow color here on the bottom of this snow here, so I'm going to just go take it and kind of cover where those lines are, and again blend this out on the bottom side. Looks like this one is kind of blended out on the top side here. This one's blended here. And we'll do a little bit underneath the snowman here. I'm going to take some of the black and do his buttons, his eyes, and his nose, and his mouth. Okay. Now, as far as this goes, let's go ahead and do a little bit there too. We'll go ahead and do the same way we did here. We'll do a little bit of the light pumpkin underneath here, and this time we're going to be blending it out towards the top. On some of it, that part of it didn't seem to have any of it there. So we're just giving a little bit of shadow area to that snow. That's what I'm doing. So now I'm going to go ahead and put this back in here. So I'm powdering that all up real good. This time I got my Versamark in here. Now I'm going to take my scrap piece of paper, my copper embossing powder. Now I'm going to heat this up, and I'm looking for it to shine. I'm looking for the whole area to shine that I heat up. I've been preparing. And I still hadn't decided if I want to use, I think what I want to use on here is just some of the Wink of Stella, just to make my snowman glitter a little bit without any more color, because I do kind of like that white color. So I'll add, I'll show you all this in a minute. I'll go ahead and add the Wink of Stella to my snowman, wherever his snow is at. As you can see, I cut him all out, and actually I cut 3 more of the die cuts out, because I'm going to stack these up and make him kind of like a little chipboard piece. I'll add this Wink of Stella to my trees here too. And I do have some of the snowflake sequins. This piece was cut 5 by 4 1/4. The coordinated dies to this set, I used these 3 pieces. This piece, I set it 3/8 inch from this side and 3/8 inch from this side, because I want my snowman to be on there completely if I can. If I can't, I'm going to go ahead and just cut parts of him off if I need to, because I want my snow globe to be there. Okay, this is cardstock. It's called Cinnamon Cider, and I went ahead and cut the little base to that from this stamp set. This one right here. Then I cut this one out of the copper foil, and that's going to be glued on top of here. It's the inside sentiment, and the outside sentiment is here, and I did it the same way. I sponged it with my little finger dauber all around the sides here with the cinnamon cider. Okay. On the snowman set, there's these little embossing little dies here that you just place here, and then you run it through your Big Shot, and it makes that embossing area on here. And it's very light, so I did want to bring it out a little bit more, so I went ahead and used one of these cosmetic brushes. You can get these at Walmart or anywhere, and just took my cinnamon cider, started it out on my mat here, and just worked it in all the way around. The slower you do it, the lighter you do it, the better this will turn out. It is easier with this than doing it with anything else that I found. The sponges work good, but you got to be really careful with the sponges. This is the easiest. Okay, so now I think I'm ready to put my card together. These domes come 10 to a pack. I think they're like $6.50. This is the Snow Globe Shaker Dome. And if you really like this set, I would order quite a few of these, because when these ever do go out, these will be gone and you won't be able to replace those. So I would get 2 or 3 packs of these. Okay, I'm going to start off by gluing my matted area in here. This part here I did not do in the right order. You will see in a minute what I did wrong. And you want to make sure this is clean. Okay, this is going to go on this side, so I need to take this one off. The part where the dome is up. Lay it on my mat. Center that on there. Now that's ready to go. Now I'm going to go ahead and glue these together. Now I'm going to glue that right there. Now I'm going to place my little snowman here and see where he's going to have to be. Actually, I'm going to go ahead and put this back here. See what this is looking like. Oh, one thing I forgot to do, I should have done the very first thing, was to put this on, just place it on, and then glue this right inside of there. That would have been the easiest way to do that, but as you can see, I didn't do it that way, so I'm going to have to sneak it underneath there. So I'm going to do it the wrong way, but I want you to do it the right way. I barely got my glue attached to there. It's just laying on there very lightly, because I sure don't want to press it down until I get it where I want it. Okay, that looks pretty close. So now I'm going to take my bone folder and get that on there real well. So when you do yours, be sure and do it before you glue this on there. Just hold this to there, put the glue on the little backing, and just glue it to it right inside that window. Okay, I'm going to put this here because he's going to be there. I might as well glue that in there too. Do I want that higher or do I want it low? Probably want it lower than that. So I'm going to go ahead and glue it not quite all the way down, but almost all the way down. Yeah, that should be good. I'll go ahead and glue my 4 pieces together. Now if I decide if I want to trim in before I cut it or after I cut it, I think I'm going to trim this one to the end of the card itself and not cut it after the mat. So I'll go ahead and trim this right here. So he goes off the mat a little bit. I think that looks nice. Now I'll go ahead and glue this to this. I'll take this off of here too. fill my little dome up with some sequins by putting them in here. Probably a couple pinches is good enough. Some people get really crazy by putting it in there, and then you almost can't see your little artwork if you put too many. So, and actually, if you wanted to glue a couple of them to the thing so it'll stick there, you could do that too, like maybe on this darker area. That's so they'll stay there even when it's all the little sequins are in the down position. And you need to make sure that there's no sequins around that outside of edge of this, because if it does, it'll get kind of caught into this area here, and it might break your seal. So your sequins would be shaken out of the card. So now I'm just taking some glue and putting it everywhere else. And it also would be cute to put some more sequins and snowflakes, whatever, on the outside of here too. Okay, now I think for him, I'm gonna go ahead, I'm gonna go ahead and kind of do it like this, and do this side like this. And that way he'll kind of be puffed up. Maybe stack 2 or 3 of the dimensionals under here. Just under that middle part. Looks like I'll squeeze a snowflake in between those dimensionals. Yep, that looks like enough. Okay, I'm going to try to center this as much as I can underneath this globe. Then I'm going to push those ends down. And that's our card for today. Be sure and check out how to make a thick envelope. I will try to remember to put a link below, but if not, you'll go through my things and my videos and you'll find it. It's envelope, how to make a custom made envelope, and there's even a way to make an envelope. One of my first videos is with this. Actually, this is a bow making thing, and it's free if you order $100 worth of items in my Stampin' Up website, which is listed below. And you can make bows out of this, and you can also make envelopes out of this. So let's see about a little bow here. I think I'm going to use like just a 2-inch bow because I ain't going to have much room here. And this is called Whisper White Crinkled Seam Binding Ribbon. I believe it's still in the big catalog. The short end there. Go over the top of the short end, under the whole thing. And now you bring it over here and you tie it. And you have your little bow. But anyway, with this, you will be able to make the bows, and you will be able to make a thick envelope. anyway, that's the end of the video today. I hope you enjoyed it and hope to be seeing you again real soon. Bye-bye for now.